Hello, students. Welcome to Chapter 10 of Business Studies, Part 1 Internal Trade. We know that trading means transaction and buying and selling of goods and services. And especially when we talk about internal trade, it means that the transaction is taking place within the geographical boundary or within the country. So, as I said, that trade means buying and selling of goods, which involves the exchange of commodities for money or money's worth. And on the basis of scale of operations, internal trade can be divided into wholesale trade or retail trade. So, first, let's understand what is wholesale trade. Buying and selling in large quantities is known as a wholesale trade. So a wholesaler buys goods directly from the producer and sells them to retailers. So he is the one who deals in wholesale trade, is a wholesaler or a wholesale dealer. Now there are various services of wholesaler to manufacturer or producers. So let's understand that what are the services of wholesalers to producers. First is it facilitates large scale production. Now, bulk orders from wholesaler enables the manufacturer or producer to produce the goods in large quantity. And secondly, they purchase the entire goods immediately or on the production basis. So they take the risk of change in demand, spoilage, damage, theft, etc. during the transportation and storage. So we can say that it is the wholesaler who bears the risk and helps the manufacturer. The third one is financial assistance. Wholesaler purchases on cash basis and sometimes they may give advance payment for bulk purchases. This will help the manufacturer to have the continuity in the production process. The fourth service of wholesaler to producer is expert advice. Wholesaler is a person who is in constant touch with the retailers, and retailers are the people who are in constant touch with the consumers or the final consumers. So they have the information about the market and market condition. So wholesaler, since he is in constant touch with the retailer, they can collect the information about the taste and preference and fashion of the consumer and pass it on to the producers. Fifthly, wholesaler also helps in marketing. Now, they take care of distribution of goods, marketing research, transportation, and warehousing. So, all these activities are taken care by the wholesaler, which will reduce the burden of the producer to take care of such operations. The next benefit or the next service which wholesaler provides to producer is it facilitates continuity of production. So as I said that wholesaler purchases good on real time basis and that too on cash basis. So whenever they produce goods or whenever manufacturer is producing the goods, it helps them to carry out the continuous production or continuity in production. Wholesaler also provides storage facility. So the burden of storing goods passes on to the wholesaler. So these are the services which are provided. Now let's talk about the services of wholesaler to retailers. Please remember one thing that retailers are the people who buy the goods from the wholesaler and sell it to the consumers in small amount. So the first service which are provided by the wholesaler to retailer is availability of goods. Retailer get goods as and when they are required and as there is large quantities stored by the wholesaler. They also provide marketing support. Now wholesaler takes all the burden of advertisement and sales promotion activities and the retailer enjoys the benefits. Thirdly, wholesaler also provides credit facility. Because retailers does not have much of an investment, It enables them to conduct their business without much investment, because many a times wholesaler also supplies the goods to the retailer on the basis of credit. The fourth service which are provided by the wholesaler is specialized knowledge to retailers. Wholesaler can give expert advice on their products as they are dealing only on a limited line of goods. So they also perform the retailers about they inform the retailers about the new products, their uses, quality, prices, etc. And the most importantly, risk sharing. Now the risk of retailer gets reduced as most of the burden of marketing, such as price fluctuation, loss of goods in transit or damage or storage, all these losses are borne by the wholesalers. So we can see that in a way, wholesaler plays a very important role or is a very important link between the manufacturer and the consumer and the retailer. Now, when we talk about the retail trade, in case of retail trade, buying and selling of goods in small quantities, and a retail trader buy goods from the wholesaler and sells them to the consumers. It also includes all the activities directly related to sale of goods or services to ultimate consumers for consumption. Now let's see that what are the services which are provided by retailers to manufacturers or wholesalers. So first, let's study the services which are provided by retailers to producers. It helps in distribution. Retailers help in distribution of goods to ultimate consumers who are scattered over the world. And it also helps in personal selling. So most of the consumer goods require personal selling. Wholesaler and producers are free from this task as it is undertaken by the retailer. Manufacturers and wholesaler are free from the trouble of making individual sales to consumer in small quantity. So this will help them to operate on a large scale. And most importantly, collecting market information. As discussed earlier, that retailers are in direct touch with the consumer, so they understand the consumer taste and preference in a much better way than the rest too. So they can collect the reliable market information and pass it on to wholesaler or manufacturer. Retailers also help in sales promotion, like they undertake the advertisement and the other sales promotion activities to increase their sales. It helps the wholesalers and manufacturers in promoting the sales of their products. So these are the services which are provided by retailers to producers. Now let's see how they help the consumers. First, the regular availability of products. Now, most often, the retailers hold sufficient stock of goods from various producers and wholesalers, and it ensures ready and regular supply of goods. Now, the best example which we have faced during this COVID situation, that when there was a lockdown declared, we had these retailers who were actually helping us in regular supply of the essential items which we were requiring at the time of COVID. So they supply the goods to the consumers regularly. Secondly, new product information. Now, by arranging proper display and through personal selling efforts, the retailers provide relevant information about the new products and their features to the consumer. It also helps in convenience in buying. Now, because the retailer sells good in small quantities and they have set up their stores in residential area or near residential area, which is very much near to consumer. So it becomes very convenient for the consumer to buy the goods from the retailers. And there are wide varieties of options or selections of goods are available from the different manufacturers. Many retailers, they also provide credit facility, which means They provide credit facilities to the regular and trusted customers or consumers. So we can see the overall view of all the services which are provided by retailers to consumers. Now we need to understand that what are the types of retail trade. Now, when we talk about retail trade, it could be itinerant traders or fixed shop. And we'll continue that in the next session or in the next part. Thank you.